This is an article I just come across from the Biblical Archaeology Society, excuse me. Bible History Daily, DNA suggests early Jewish links with Africa. That's Bible and Archaeology News. Biblical Archaeology Society staff, August 3rd. This is an old article from 2011. This is old news. And it has 4,884 views so far. And we'll read. It says, a DNA study that compares the genetic makeup of Jewish populations from around the world with African populations has found that modern Jews, keyword, that modern Jews, because we'll get off into that later, has found that modern Jews can contribute about 3 to 5% of their ancestry to sub-Saharan Africans. Researchers from the Harvard Medical School estimate that the exchange of genes occurred approximately 72 generations ago, or about 2,000 years ago. Lawrence Schiffman, professor of Hebrew and Judaic studies at Yeshiva University, believes the intermixing may have occurred during the Hellenistic period. That's like 320 to 30 BCE, when Jewish communities were resident in many North African coastal cities, and during the First Temple period. That's 950 to 600 BCE, when the Israelite kings, including Solomon, had trade relationships with Africa. A DNA study that compared the genetics makeup of Jewish populations around the world with African populations has found that modern Jews can attribute about 3 to 5% of their ancestry to sub-Saharan Africa. Now, that's about 2,000 years ago, okay? We're looking at around the time of the Bantu expansion. A recent study on mitochondrial DNA reveals that the female line of Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry closely resembles that of Southern and Western Europe rather than the ancient Near East, as many scholars supposed in the past. Oh, we got more to read here. They're saying that their mother is Jewish. They're finding it on the mother's side now. Biblical archaeology. Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry confirmed European mitochondrial DNA test. A recent study on mitochondrial DNA reveals that the female line of Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry closely resembles that of Southern and Western Europe rather than the ancient Near East, and as many scholars proposed in the past. Ashkenazim, a Jewish group who migrated to Central and Eastern Europe, make up the majority of the world Jewish population today, so they say. They haven't even begun to count the African Jews around the world. A recent article in Nature Communications discusses the result of the mitochondrial DNA tests. That's the maternal tests. The article, written by a team of scientists led by a university in Huddersfield's Martin B. Richards, the University of Huddersfield's, Martin V. Richards, includes the following in its abstract. Like Judaism, mitochondrial DNA is passed along the maternal line. And that maternal line is a European line that doesn't go back to Shem, but go back to Germanic, and European roots. Mitochondrial DNA is passed along the maternal line. Its variation in the Ashkenazim is highly distinctive, with four major and numerous minor founders. Wow. So that's four different European women that they're tracing their lineage back to. We show that all four major founders, 40% of Ashkenazim, mitochondrial variations, have ancestry in prehistoric Europe rather than the Near East or the Caucasus. Furthermore, most of the remaining minor founders share a similar deep European ancestry. Thus, the great majority of Ashkenazi maternal lineages were not brought from the Levant. Thus, the great majority of the Ashkenazi maternal lineages were not brought from the Levant, as commonly supposed, nor recruited in the Caucasus, as sometimes suggested, but assimilated within Europe. These results point to a significant role for the conversion of women in the formation of Ashkenazi communities, their converts, and provide the foundation for a detailed reconstruction of Ashkenazi genealogical history. As the point where three of the world's major religions converge, Israel's history is one of the richest and most complex in the world. Sift through the archaeology and history of this ancient land in the free book Israel: An Archaeological Journey, and get a view of this significant biblical sites through an archaeologist's lens. Earlier DNA tests performed on male chromosomes in Jewish communities generally reveal Near Eastern DNA patterns. Population migration and convergence to Judaism may have led to the growth of the Ashkenazi population. Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry may in fact stem from the Jewish community in the early Roman Empire. Wow. The author writes that a substantial Jewish community was present in Rome from at least the mid-2nd century BCE, maintaining links to Jerusalem and numbering 30 to 50,000 by the first half of the 1st century CE. By the end of the first millennium CE, Ashkenazi communities were historically visible along the Rhine Valley in Germany.